What's up, YouTube? I'm Robert, and you're watching the B1KER Bar Podcast. I think every time that we've been on the show together, either had another person or we had I was looking, we had like an agenda, like we're talking about cameras or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you realized real quick that was a mistake because I just
better stop that guy now.
You need to balance the aperture with the
This is the thing though, is I finally, broke down and bought a legitimate like big boy camera. So now I have like a little bit of an inkling of what you're talking about compared to before. All I knew was like iPhone and GoPro. So I don't know, man. I'm still struggling whenever people, ask about starting a channel and what they should get gear wise. I still tell them like, just get a GoPro. You'll be good. Like I spent
or a cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say the GoPro just for the ease of being able to mount it on different places,
Yeah. And it's rugged.
Yeah.
But like, let's be honest. It's weird the time that we live in. Most kids, and when I say kids, I mean like, 14 to, 18, they're more likely to have a cell phone than a GoPro because a GoPro is a luxury item. And weirdly enough, the cell phone is really considered an essential these days because you got to keep in touch with everyone. And, it's up to each parent to figure out how far they can connect in at certain ages to social media. But even crappy phones that you bought used off of eBay that are 3 years old have a decent camera that can film at least 1080p.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I would say when I first started my channel, I was doing a lot more of like POV kind of stuff. And now it's like, I just do so much more with like different B-roll and this and that. And I mean, I feel like you could just set your camera on or your phone on the side of the trail, do some ride bys and do some like, vloggy kind of stuff while you're climbing or while you're, standing around, and you can still make a pretty decent video.
I mean, you get this question a lot. I get the question, what kind of camera gear do I need? And the hard truth that no one wants to hear is if you can't make good content with a cell phone, you're not going to make good content with a $10,000 cinema camera. That's the hard truth.
Tell me about it.
You have to learn the basics. You have to learn storytelling. You have to learn composition. You have to, learn all these things that quite honestly apply to any camera. Yeah. And until you learn those things, it doesn't matter. Like my brother-in-law is actually a professional cinematographer, DP, director of photography. And he has a $250,000 camera system, one of many that he has. He has like probably more than he wants to admit to his wife in camera gear. And he set it up when I was out visiting in California, and I'm standing there looking at this just cinema level camera. This has been used to film some great movies and TV shows, Ari Alexa. And I didn't want to touch it. I didn't know how to work it. Like I was literally the dog that caught the car. I'm standing.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I don't know what to do with it. I don't even know where the power button is.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, once we got it fired up and on my shoulder, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But I'm like, this is so impractical. I would never use this. Even in a studio, I would never use it. And that's the thing that like, even I, who am a major camera geek, there's so much camera gear out there these days that are unitaskers. You buy it for one use and then it sits in the closet. I found that I get the most creative when I'm limited in what I have. Like on Instagram, I made this slow-mo of products. It looks like the products are floating up.
Yeah, you were dropping them.
Yeah, I was actually dropping it, and I was dropping it with the camera upside down into a box full of pillows, so I didn't break my my iPhone. But I just
filmed the camera upside down too. Okay.
Yeah, so like it was all practical effects, and the difference between practical effects and like special effects is practical effects are everything you can do in the real world. Like Jim Henson is a master of practical effects because everything has to be crafted. All these things, the puppets, the backgrounds, all that stuff. And practical effects, even when done meh, are way better then special effects that enter what's called the uncanny valley, where you can tell it's fake because it's so bad. It's just weird. Anyways, yeah, I did that with a cell phone, a black sheet, a couple of cheap lights, and some pillows in an afternoon because I was bored during quarantine.
If you like that, make sure you check out the full episode. And hey, do me a favor, before you take off, hit the like and subscribe.